So what is the first method? That is heat shock method. Second one is microinjection method. Third one is biolistic method. And the fourth one is disarmed pathogen method. What does TET stand for? Tetracycline, AMP, ampicillin. These are the two types of antibiotic genes. That is, it is a method in which rDNA, that is recombinant DNA, is directly injected into the nucleus of animal cell. Hello everyone, welcome back to session 5 of this interesting chapter called Biotechnology, Principles and Processes. Myself, B. Shobharani from the Department of Biology, Vidyashram Pre-University College, the Temple of Excellence. Continuing the remaining concepts of this interesting chapter called Biotechnology, Principles and Processes, let us understand what is a plasmid, and we are going to study about the structure of one plasmid called PBR. So let us understand the structure of a PBR 322 plasmid. So what does this PBR 322 represent? It is an artificial plasmid of Bolivar and Rodriguez. I repeat, it is PBR 322, that is PBR 322 is an artificial plasmid by Bolivar and Rodriguez, strain number 322. So B stands for Bolivar, P stands for plasmid, and B stands for Bolivar, and R stands for Rodriguez, and 322 stands for the strain number 322. Here you can see the beautiful picture of this PBR 322 having 4361 base pairs. So now let us understand what is the structure of this plasmid. This is a very important concept from examination point of view. Usually they ask this in the examination to draw the diagram of a plasmid PBR 3 or what is PBR 322. It is a type of plasmid called PBR 322. What does PBR stand for? Plasmid of Bolivar and Rodriguez, strain number 322. It has ORI site, that is origin of replication. So what are the features of this plasmid which acts as a vector? So it has ORI, origin of replication site. Then it has single cloning sites for all these types of bacterial, that is E. coli, then HIN3, BAM, SL, SAL, PVU, PST1 and PU1. And it also has, like here you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here. Then it has two antibiotic genes, that is ampicillin and tetracycline, that is AMPR and TETR, tetracycline. It has ROB gene which codes for the protein involved in replication of plasmid. So these are the very important features of this plasmid PBR 322. So here you can see that is AMP, TET, that is it has two antibiotic genes, that is AMP and TET. What does TET stand for? Tetracycline. AMP, ampicillin. These are the two types of antibiotic genes. Then it has ROB gene which codes for the protein involved in replication of plasmid. I repeat, PBR 322 is an artificial plasmid constructed by Bolivar and Rodriguez, hence the name PBR 322. 322 stands for what? Strain number 322. Then it has single cloning site. It has ORI site. It has single cloning sites. Then it has two antibiotic genes, ampicillin and tetracycline. Then it has ROB gene which codes for the protein involved in replication of plasmid. Next, let us understand what is competent host. What is competent host? It is a cell capable of taking up an alien DNA. What do you mean by alien DNA? It is a foreign DNA. New DNA, that is foreign DNA. So what is competent host? It is a cell capable of taking up an alien DNA is called as a competent host. So maybe for one word, for one mark question, they'll ask, what is competent host? So what is competent? What is plasmid PBR? It is nothing but plasmid of Bolivar and Rodriguez, strain number 322. What is competent host? It is a cell capable of taking up an alien DNA. Moving on to the restriction, that is RN, organism and the palindromic sequences. So REN means what? Restriction endonuclease, then the organism and the palindromic sequences. So here REN is EcoRI, that is organism from which the RNA is extracted is E. coli, hence the name EcoRI. This is CLA1, that is caryophenol latum. And what is the palindromic sequence here? GAA-TTCC. Here ATCG-AT. Then HIN3, that is Haemophilus influenzae. Then AAGC-TT. Then BAMH1, that is Bacillus liquefacus, that is GGAA-TTC. Then SAL1, that is Streptomyces albus. Streptomyces albus. Then GTC-GAC. Then PVU2, that is Proteus vulgaris, that is CAG-CTG. Then PST1, Providentia stereotype, that is CTGCAG. Then PVU1, Proteus vulgaris, that is CGA-TC. So these are the name of the organisms, and these are the restriction endonucleases from which it is extracted. So E. coli, Escherichia coli, then CLA1, caryophenol latum, HIN3, that is Haemophilus influenzae, then BAMH1, Bacillus liquefacus, then SAL, Streptomyces albus, then PVU2, Proteus vulgaris, then PST1, Providentia stereotype, then PVU1, Proteus vulgaris. So this is the restriction endonucleases and the organism and the palindromic sequences. You know what is palindromic sequences? The sequences which read the same from both the sides is called as palindromic sequence, as we have already studied in the previous session. Like for example, Madam, Malayalam, then Gadag. So these are called as what? Palindromic sequences. Palindromic sequences. So here GAA-TTC, here ATCG-AT. So all these are the palindromic sequences. Moving on to the methods of introducing rDNA into host cells. So what are the methods? Here you can see insertion of rDNA into host cells. Recombinant plasmid, E. coli, that is a host cell, and this is the transformed cell. So here you can see in the diagram. So what is the method of introducing rDNA, that is recombinant DNA, into host cells? What are the methods? One is called heat shock method, second one is called microinjection method, third one is called biolistic method, or also it is called as gene gun method. Then 3, disarmed pathogen method. So what are the methods of introducing rDNA into host cell? One is called heat shock method, microinjection method, third one biolistic or gene gun method, and fourth is disarmed pathogen method. So all these are the 4 types or the 4 methods of introducing rDNA into the host cell. Now let us study one by one. What is this heat shock method? What is microinjection method? Biolistic method, that is gene gun method, and disarmed pathogen method. Moving on to the first one, heat shock method of introducing rDNA into the host cells. DNA is hydrophilic molecule. Therefore, it cannot pass through the cell membrane. So the host cell must be made competent. So the host cell must be made competent. It is done by treating them with a specific concentration of divalent cations such as calcium. So DNA is a hydrophilic molecule, therefore it cannot pass through cell membrane. So the host cell must be made competent. So how is it made? It is done by treating it with a specific concentration of divalent cations such as what? Such as calcium. That is the heat shock method. Then this results in what? The process of, this results in the formation of pores in its cell wall. So due to the treatment with a specific concentration of divalent cations such as calcium, so small pores are made on the cell wall, as it cannot pass through the cell wall as DNA is hydrophilic in nature. So this results in what? When it is treated with divalent cations like calcium, so this results in the process of formation of small pores in the cell wall. Then rDNA can be forced into such cells by incubating the cells with rDNA on ice and subjecting them to heat treatment, hence the name heat shock method, at 42 degrees centigrade, and putting them back on ice. This enables the bacteria to take up rDNA. So this whole methodology. So then what? So after treatment with a divalent cations like calcium, so it results in the process of formation of pores on the cell wall. Then the rDNA is forced. So introducing the rDNA into the host cells by incubating the cells with rDNA on ice and then subjecting them to heat treatment. That is heat shock method at 42 degrees centigrade and putting them back on ice. So this enables the bacteria to take up rDNA. So this is one method called heat shock method of introducing rDNA into the host cells. Now this next method, what are the four methods? One is called heat shock method, second one is called microinjection method, the third one is called what? Biolistic or gene gun method. So here the microinjection method, the very word itself will tell you, it is the method in which rDNA is directly injected into the nucleus of the animal cell. So just like injecting. So hence the name microinjection. So the very word itself will give what is the methodology that is involved in introduction of rDNA into the host cell. That is, it is a method in which rDNA, that is recombinant DNA, is directly injected into the nucleus of animal cell. I repeat. So what is heat shock method of introducing rDNA into the host cell? DNA is hydrophilic molecule, therefore it cannot pass through the cell membrane. So then it is treated with divalent cations like calcium, which results in the process of formation of pores in the cell wall. So then the rDNA can be forced into the such cells by incubating the cells with rDNA first on ice and then subjecting them to heat treatment, heat shock method for of what degree? 42 degree centigrade, and putting them back in the ice. So this enables the bacteria to take up rDNA. Then what is microinjection method? It is the method in which rDNA is directly injected into the nucleus of the animal cell. Moving on to the biolistic method, which is also called as gene gun method. Gene gun method. Here you can see the gene gun method. Here, macro carrier. So this is how it is done. Particles propelled into target rupture disc. Here you can see how DNA coated particles, so target cells. So this is how it is. So biolistic method, it is the method in which rDNA is introduced into the nucleus of plant cell by bombarding the, very important, hence the name gene gun or biolistic method, bombarding the cells with high velocity microparticles of gold or tungsten coated with DNA. So what is biolistic method or gene gun method? It is a method in which RNA is introduced into the host, into the nucleus of the plants, into the host body by bombarding the cells with high velocity microparticles of gold or tungsten coated with DNA. Then disarmed pathogen method. Next method, what is the first method? That is heat shock method. Second one is microinjection method. Third one is biolistic method. And the fourth one is disarmed pathogen method. So what is disarmed pathogen method? It is the method in which disarmed pathogen vectors are allowed to infect the cell and transfer the rDNA into the host cell. Disarmed pathogen method. It is the method in which disarmed pathogen vectors are allowed to infect the cell and transfer the rDNA into the host. So what is biolistic method? It is the method in which rDNA is introduced into the nucleus of a plant cell by bombarding the cells with high velocity microparticles of gold or tungsten coated with DNA. Then what is the next fourth method? That is disarmed pathogen method. It is a method in which disarmed pathogen vectors are allowed to infect the cell and transfer the rDNA into the host cell. So those are the four methods. One is heat shock method, microinjection method, biolistic method, which is also called as gene gun method, and disarmed pathogen methods are the methods that are implemented to introduce rDNA into the host cell. Hope you have understood the concepts what I have explained in today's session. So in the coming session, in this particular session, in the coming session, I'll be discussing with the process of recombination, recombinant DNA, that is rDNA technology, and the diagram which represents the DNA technology. So I'll be back with some more interesting concepts of this very interesting chapter called Biotechnology Principles and Processes. So till then, goodbye and thank you.